This is Doc Ock reporting to you live from Saarbrucken, Germany. So I finally made it to the Fatherland, and it's hot. It's very hot. I mean, it's so hot here that it's reminding me of the Sahara. And I've never been to the Sahara, but I can imagine it's got to be hot like this. So yesterday was my first day here. I walked around all over the place with my daughter, my youngest daughter, and sweated like a stuck pig. Yeah, and I don't say that lightly because I don't eat pigs. Well, I don't eat animals at all, but particularly not pigs. So I'm here. It's very nice accommodations here in my lovely Airbnb. Got everything I need here. Total access. I got the whole apartment for $30 a night. Yeah, I had to whisper that part because I don't want everybody to know what a good deal you can get on Airbnb. So that's my rate for a whole week here in Saarbrucken, Germany. I didn't bother to set up any Airbnbs for the other 2 weeks that I will be here. I have a feeling I will probably be sleeping a lot on buses and out during the day, just moving around and checking things out in not only Germany, but Switzerland and the Netherlands. I thought I was going to Belgium, but I found out finally I'm starting to get to understand the difference between Belgium and the Netherlands. They're actually two different things. They are not the same, but I've never been able to get them straight when you have the Belgium, the Netherlands, and Holland. So it turns out Holland and the Netherlands are the very same thing. They're one and the same. There's no difference between Holland and the Netherlands. Now in the Netherlands, they speak apparently Dutch mixed with some German. And then in Belgium, it's something similar to that. So they speak Germanic languages, but they're not Germans. Got to do some more research on the history of that whole connection there because the word German, we say German in English, but the Germans never say German. I mean, this is not Germany to the Germans unless they're English speakers. Germany is Deutschland. Deutschland. So you spell that's Deus, Deutsch, Deutschland, Deutschland. So you can see right there, it's very similar to the word Dutch, Dutch. And in this case, yes, there's definitely a relationship. There's got to be a relationship there some kind of way. Well, because if you hear Dutch, you recognize that some of the pronunciations, some of the words will either be the same because they are speaking, their language is mixed with German in the first place. And so in Holland, they speak Dutch mixed with Deutsch. So yeah, think of it like that. In Holland, they speak Dutch mixed with Deutsch. But when I talk with some of the Germans, they try to tell me that there's no relationship. But, just because they're German doesn't mean they know everything about Germany. So we'll be investigating that further and seeing what kind of connections we can make in terms of this Dutch-Deutsch thing, because I'm still trying to figure that out. Okay. So I'm spending a week here with my daughter, and then I'm going to move around the countryside, visit some friends in Switzerland, Holland, and France. And then, return to Frankfurt, where I will be catching a plane, returning to the good old USA, where everybody speaks English, which we know that's a pure language, not mixed with anything, right? You're right. LOL on that one. At any rate, I'm not following the news too much, though. I hear Trump is still saying dumb stuff. That's really odd. I would expect that he was going to say something intelligent by now. That's a joke, obviously. And I'm just going to go ahead and take a shower, wash up. I've been here just trying to put my things in order and figure out how I'm going to work with my equipment. So this is just like the first, I guess it's the second phase of my trip, really. But that first phase was a doozy. Just making it to the airport on time, getting on that plane, and then making it over here. There were some times when I didn't think everything was going to work out. I did have a very harrowing cab ride in Cleveland. Harrowing cab ride in Cleveland. Yeah, where I was running late to catch my Great Wall bus. That's a bus from Chinatown to Chinatown. You go from Chinatown, Cleveland to Chinatown, New York City, which happened to be exactly where I was trying to go. So Great Wall bus, can't beat it. Can't beat it with a stick. If you're trying to go to Chinatown in New York City, it's the best thing. $50 one way, get you there. You travel for 8 hours straight through all night, no transfers, nothing like that. Bring your luggage, do what you're going to do. Everything's cool. You probably have a whole seat to yourself. You can lay down, stretch out some, and sleep on the way there. And then around, the bus leaves at 10:55 from the Asian Plaza 2999 Payne Avenue in Cleveland, Ohio. So that's right down there in the midst of Chinatown. And it arrives in New York City 7 a.m. So at that time of day, there's nothing open. Most of the places that I wanted to go to were not open yet. So I just went on over to Canal Street and Center Street and checked out the Starbucks over there. And that's where I did my first posting from, that particular Starbucks, which is really like a window on the world. It's better than TV. You see things go on in there you never would imagine are actually happening, because the people outside the window have no idea that there are people inside the window watching them. They don't have a clue. And they do all kinds of strange things right in front of you that they probably wouldn't have done if they knew you were sitting there looking right at them. So I bopped around there, found a few interesting things, including a tea museum. I think it's a Zhangli Tea Museum, something like that. I'm still trying to get his name together. Very interesting, but they had two big, huge life-size statues in there, and one of them had a big, huge gourd. And I'm a gourd man, so when I see gourds, I go crazy. So that was the first encounter I had with the gourd on this trip. Second encounter was in a little shop up on Grand Avenue, 301 Grand Avenue. And after that, no, not 301. It was a different place on somewhere around there. But it was over there in Chinatown. Expensive little gourd. A little gourd is like $20. Like, wow, I wish I could get that for my gourds. And then my next encounter with the gourd was at the Indian restaurant, the Indian Palace here in Saarbrucken, Germany. And actually, I got to eat the gourd. So that was really cool. I've eaten gourd before, but I never had it cooked fresh. I only had it in the form of a frozen dinner. So nice Indian restaurant, brand new, only been open about 4 weeks. Indian Palace right over here in Saarbrucken, Germany. Hey, if you're in the neighborhood, stop by, check it out. I highly recommend the food. Food was great. It was very low-key atmosphere, and we just did, my daughter and I ate over there, did what we had to do. Reasonably priced to it, according to her. All right. So back at you later. So much for my first installment. I'm just going to be moving around and trying to take you all with me. Shalom, shalom. Peace out. No doubt.